What's her name? Dorothy's on the phone. Did you want to say hello?
Who?
Dorothy. Dorothy Peterson? Don't you know her?
Oh, for goodness sakes. Hello. Yes?
I thought
Does
you were
Shad-
doing,
Does Shad live up here?
Chad lives in
I
Richmond.
gotta go in about 10 minutes.
He lives, you know where we used to live.
Tommy, I got a window back there I have to worry about.
You'll have to close that blind or
Go
you'll,
west and go
Yeah, exposure.
in that area where we live.
Oh, just up above.
it's Betty and the girls.
This
one.
guy that we sold
Shara's in Salt Lake
the
for
home
a wedding,
to-
but I think Sonia
had some renders
Rondi
in
will
there,
go.
Oh.
and they turned the water loose and just let it run.
You get
Just
time to go
do
through.
it.
I'm gonna try, that's
Yeah.
why I'm gonna go up.
Down.
Not that old,
See if I
that
can get
house
this
we
thing
lived in,
going.
have they torn that down?
Yeah, the whole house is being torn down.
I told Vivian that, she said, oh, I don't think so. I says, well, at
How are
least,
you doing today?
the house next to you that we lived in, they're not tearing that down, that's still,
Feel
That's a
pretty good.
pretty
I'm
good
shape.
And
You're
then
not
where
supposed
Hazel
to
lived,
do anything.
No,
they've
I don't
not
do
doing
it.
really,
I
really
just
fixed
put
that up.
the
There's a man by the name
doilies
of
on the
Bush
tables.
that
That's
lives
all I
just
did.
about 3 blocks up this road here.
And,
And that,
If that'll work,
sold it.
I'll close those blinds,
And
that'll
our
be fine.
bishop lives there now, his name is Jordan. But they fixed that house up nice.
So you're okay?
I'll always remember that stackyard out in the
Yeah,
center, you know, it was right out in the center, you know, with
has
the,
been
build
in
up the boards all the way around it,
Yeah.
Operation on the,
you know, the whole hay.
and I'm a visiting
I was
teacher, so she just got.
Running away from you, I guess, or I climbed over the top of that,
And
and then on the
your
top of
your
that,
arm was
She
just
called
crooked.
and arm
Did she?
was crooked. You
Yeah.
put your foot on the shoulder and straightened my arm out.
So I was mad at you, I was chasing you, I mean, you went over the fence and you hung from that one arm. And then I came around there and I felt sorry for you, cause boy, you were yelping and howling, bawling like a baby and so then I thought I'd done something wrong to ruin you the rest of your life. So I put you in the car and took you to the doctor and the doctor, best thing that ever happened to you.
Yeah, my arm was crooked and I went to straighten it out.
Are you videotaping all that? How to get
Yeah, I
those
just don't have the
stories?
time.
I broke my arm.
Figure I've got 2 hours, I'll just let it roll. And I'll
So
edit it
boy,
out later.
he put his foot on my shoulder
I can't
and
remember
straightened my arm out. I was hanging from a boarded fence.
How'd you dislocate it?
But he came over the fence and just hung, his arm was like this.
That was when I was 6 years old.
He broke it, and then
It's
he
hard
was
to
supposed
hear
to
you.
exercise it to get it straight, but it hurt and he wouldn't do
It
it.
hurt so much I wouldn't even move it.
But then when he came over that fence and just straightened it right out.
He put his hands on both my fingers, then put his foot on my shoulder and straightened my arm out.
That, I remember that doctor said, best thing that ever happened, because I'm worried, oh boy, I ruined it.
Well, what else happened when you were kids?
Then I'll always remember
We'll interview him. Brian.
we had a swimming pool up above Ridgefield, and I dove in there and I cut my chin. I still got to. I was just afraid to jump in there. I jumped in there and then whirled around, grabbed the bank, and came down with my chin on the bank. He came up and picked me up to take me to the fire out to the upper farm. Grandpa Godfreyson had made a fire and set all the stacks and everything on fire. So he came up to pick me up, and I was bleeding on your back all the way up there.
Yeah,
How old are you then?
Oh, 8 or 9, I guess. Something. Well, it was 1927, wasn't it? When the fire was?
is that what it was? All I
No,
remember,
29.
you mean the haystacks out there?
Yeah. When the Surrey burned up.
Yeah, all I remember there that I wanted to go out and there's only one horse in the trail that my dad had traded for. And so I jumped on it and just went on a dead run all the way out. And when my dad saw me riding this horse, it threw Carl Ramsey off, and he's the meanest horse there was, but for some reason, it didn't buck
So she was
with
doing
me. It
fine, so
went on a
she-
swinging
She
lope,
just
and I
got
went
home-
out there and
got home
tried to
back
help put out
from
the fire.
Oh,
Well, you come pick me up at the swimming pool,
what was that
I don't know,
on?
can't remember how
I
it
don't
or else I was
can't remember.
on the way home, and then you told
It
me
was
that,
before I came up here, and so
that the cereal was burned up and,
I asked Dolores
and our horse, what's the
if she
name?
was home, and
Mary
she
Lynn.
wasn't
Huh?
home that day.
We told her
so
Mary
Mary
Lynn,
Lynn.
yeah.
on since. So, and I think they will come up, Dolores. will
You have to
come
wait
up
for 5 more
tomorrow.
minutes till Mark gets here.
Well, I know, that's, yeah, I can wait until.
We went to visit the one.
Oh,
Have
now
you
wait
read
a
those
That
books,
day
The
that
Work
you
and the
and
Glory?
Mark took us
What?
up,
The
that
Work
day
and the
that you
Glory?
and Lloyd
Books
showed
by
us where they
Jerry
lived.
Lund
We went
on
out
the
there.
church history.
There's about 6 volumes
Pray,
of them.
Clark, the
I
God.
don't know whether I have now.
Are you aware of? Yeah, I haven't read it yet, but I heard it real good. That's what I'm recording an
I
album,
came here
the
yesterday.
music on it,
But I thought
with
Mr.
Jerry
Wade did,
Jerry
you
Lund.
know?
He's coming up to the studio, and so I have to
I
run
don't
up
know
and
what's
record
wrong.
some vocals.
You put it on video then?
No, just music, just in cassette and CD. But the vocalist we want is going to Russia in the morning. We gotta get him tonight, or he's be too
Oh,
late.
you got your equipment to record it?
Well, it's out at the old Osmond Studios,
Oh,
so I have to record that, and that's from 7 till 10 tonight. So I gotta run out there and get it going and see if I can sneak off. But it's Jerry Lund who wrote the Work and the Glory tapes. It's out there. His wife wrote the songs, and
No,
I'm
I've
producing
read
it.
5 of those volumes.
Is he singing
They're good.
No, we're getting the other vocalist to do it.
I've got the darndest eyes, I can see just perfect, just my eyes, and as soon as I sit and read for a half hour, it just feels like somebody's twisting my eyes inside out, and the water comes out of them, they can't see.
Huh.
Now, 1/2 hour, when I get the newspaper at night, I got 1/2 hour to read that before my eyes start twisting into a knot.
You know, I've always thought I needed extra light to see. I've been nearsighted, but now if it's not too light, I can read longer than I can extra bright.
And Sterling, when Sterling was in 4th grade, we got him glasses, and the glass was so thick, you couldn't even see his eyes. Maybe, I don't know whether any of you remember when before Sterling got contacts. And so when he got his First Security Bank, why he needed his eyes very bad. I mean, needed them. So he heard about a place,
With that new laser thing,
that new laser thing, you know,
Yeah.
they
radio.
bring your vision.
A lot of
So they
new-
put, it cost about $2,500 an eye or something like that. Anyway, he had this done, and his eyes were 2,650. And then he did this with the laser and so forth, and his eyes are 20/20 now, and he doesn't have to wear contacts or anything.
That's remarkable.
And it's a good thing because he's got that big job now.
Yeah,
He's president of First Security Bank now.
He
The
had that picture,
investment part of it.
yeah, the picture in the paper, we saw that. Yeah, see, I had the cataracts taken from my eyes. Then they got misty, or just like a cloud that was shielded in front of them. So I went back and had the laser beam taken, and boy, it did it right out.
Yeah.
The
Well,
laser
I-
beam was all right.
They took a cataract out of this right eye, and I had to change glasses. But still, it hasn't helped me any on my glasses. I sure wish I had something where I could just dive in and read for hours.
Yeah.
Hello. This Sam? I'll come here actually while I'm trying to call the studio. Not yet, do it.
I think they had help
Yeah,
to take
when-
the aspirin for this.
We had this like Norwegian, her family. See, Austrie's brother died about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And
Plus in
so the wife come here and brought 2 of her daughters.
And we
two of
met
the
them,
granddaughters. Huh?
we met them
was
at Merrill's.
Merrill's,
Oh, you met him,
Yeah.
and boy, Merrill was busy. They wanted Merrill to take him to Los Angeles. But Merrill put him on the plane and sent them to Disneyland, and they got along good, they're good drivers. All
Well,
over Los
those young
Angeles.
ones could speak English.
Huh? The
Those-
one Lila, she speaks a little bit, but not too much.
I spoke to some of them in English.
Yeah,
Well, you said your sister-in-law lived here for about 3 years, your brother 5 years. So they knew, knew the area.
she won't, or she's bullheaded, she won't speak English.
You said you couldn't get her in church, but she's in church.
Well, now she's changed.
Was that right?
That's what we, I was in a bishopric at that time, and we'd meet on Sunday, in other words, she wouldn't come on the temple grounds. That was a place for us to meet.
Well, she
In
did
Salt
know
Lake.
that.
But she'd stay on the outside of the ground, but
She
now she
did.
comes on and,
She wasn't even curious, huh?
huh?
She ought to be at least a little bit curious about it.
Well, she says she got her reading the Book of Mormon once and hide it from somebody.
But her heart has softened now.
I believe God.
I don't know, it seems like people should know something about, I want to know something about every church. I don't care what church it is. Now, when I was in Japan, they wouldn't let me go through the records and find LDS men because I was the LDS, set apart as the LDS group leader to find them. And they wouldn't let me find any of the LDS men go through the battalion records and so forth. So it has something to do.
You know that,
I went over there and helped Catholic chaplain. I did the same thing when I was in Port Arthur. Not Port Arthur, I mean, Pastor Robles.
You showed me where he lived, from your house up the hill in kind of a little old frame house. Quite a nice home. Is that right? Have I seen his house?
you remember we had that table
The what?
before?
Bryant's,
You showed me where he lived.
Brian?
Yeah, Brian.
he's west of the
I know where
freeway.
you live now.
Yeah.
I don't know where I saw your house.
So we pointed out when we went over there
Is Brian
on
living in
104th.
Provo?
He was a hard guy to find too. Instead of going on 90, we went a little farther and then took another road and had to come back. And people tried to tell us about where he lived. There was no signs, no road.
When was this?
Well,
Hardest place to
there
find.
are signs, but they're up there quite a ways, quite high.
Then we went down the street a ways and met a guy, and I said, you know Melvin Jenson? And he said, I think he lives over here. And he said, he laughed, he said, I don't blame you. Because then we had to go down and went the wrong way, or street.
Well, Buena Vista is hard to find from
It's piano
27th West.
and vocal.
In fact, sometimes I go past and have to come back again,
You know,
even now,
Well, at
Even
night,
at
at
night, yeah.
night.
I can see.
But I'm glad
We
they
need
can't find it, then there's
fluorescent
not
paint
so
on
many
the
cars
wall,
going
on
past my place.
No, you know where
Poles
it
there
is,
on the
yeah.
street, so we can find it at night.
But I'm glad we went out.
We've got such a peaceful street there, if people can't find it, why, there's a through street,
Yeah.
they won't be coming, I can back out of the garage anytime, not have any
Supposed
cars
to,
bothering me.
Mark and Myrtle
Yeah.
and Donna are all coming.
I don't know, I
Yeah,
like
talked to Myrtle
I like
last
my
night.
yard, and that's where I get my exercises, mowing the lawn.
Oh, yeah, that's what I need. I had this blood poison, this leg here, and it stays swelled all the time, and I need exercise. If I roll my stocking up, it goes around here and dishes it.
Well, I've got the same thing in my leg, look,
Have them just get a feel for it.
You're swollen all the time.
mine's swollen all the
Encourage
time.
them just to start
There's
rehearsing.
mine.
I have to take a diuretic pills.
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Did you ever?
I take one every other day.
In fact, I took one for 2 straight days, and it went all right.
Right.
Now it's
I
swelling
haven't
up again,
You still like it?
I've got to take that,
Do you like it?
I bet I have to take about four a week in order to keep my legs, sometimes
Thanks.
I've seen my legs swollen up, so you couldn't even tell the calf from all the way down to my foot.
What's the matter with those guys? It's about just sissies.
Yeah.
Who's sissies? You old man? Sitting there, boy, Brian, isn't that gonna be terrible when we get that old and we sit and complain about this and that? See, I'm getting gray hair. I have to wear glasses.
Oh dear.
I got bifocal reading glasses. You can't tell. Part of it's down, one depth is down here in the middle, and it lightens out as it goes up, and it has an anti-glare, so I can use my computer.
You ought to go to that place where Sterling went and get a.
I don't have $5,000 to do my eyes.
He didn't have to pay that. He got a real, Sterling's a real wheeler dealer. He hardly paid anything for that.
Sterling just bought a new van, 94
You
with
would if you
12,000
signed
miles on
together.
it.
I think he got that whole thing done for less than 1,000, probably 500.
Well, do you think Sterling can negotiate for me?
Right.
Well, there's a new practice just opening up, and to introduce you to the practice, they volunteered to do the work for almost nothing.
They were selling cars out to Lagoon, that's where he found his.
The car? Oh,
See, Sterling
Oh,
lives right by
the eyes.
Lagoon.
yeah, we're on ice.
No,
cars.
his Stur's brother-in-law is an optometrist, and he clued Stur in on the special deal up in Boise, so Stur got in on it. He's got it for almost nothing.
Oh, you see that?
It's like he got all of his legal work done. He went to a Boy Scout auction. In the corner, nobody even noticed it. There was an attorney offering all his services for almost nothing. And Stur got all thousands of those with the legal work, all of his wills and all that kind of stuff done for almost nothing. Just by bidding at the Boy Scout thing, one of those silent auctions.
So he kept in contact.
Yeah, that's the way Stur works. So he snuffs them out.
He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Well, I'm trying to follow his footsteps.
I called you Brian, didn't I?
Yeah, I'm Brian.
You're Brian. God. Where's Bryce?
He's up in Salt Lake. He's just got stuff he's going on tonight. He won't be down here.
How's he doing? Is he still in practice?
Yeah.
What are you doing? You still got your, are you doing, what, security? What is it?
I'm doing two things right now. I'm doing mortgages, and I'm also writing reports for the banks on limited partnerships. I make more money on those than they're easy to do.
What do you do with
You're making enough to have a living on.
Yeah. The bank work, when they called me up, I had Zion's Bank, in February, they called me, 175 reports written. And I just got a call from First Security Bank in Mexico. Ordered at 15, and they'll take me,
What's going on down there?
oh, maybe 10 hours to do.
We
That
need
works
to do
out
something
quite a bit per hour.
to sell
Works
it.
out real well.
Now, of all your kids, which one's really the heaviest? I bet he's the heaviest one you got.
No, Bryce is heavier than Brian.
You
Is
would
Bryce
bring them
heavier?
all up here, you had to have a big pond.
Yeah, Brian's lost weight.
I bet you could still throw him in a rifle.
I don't know, Bryce got a weightlifting machine in his basement. He's been pumping weights. Bryce's daughter's one of the top discus jump rope throwers in the state.
Well, just in time.
Thought we better check and see if you're still here.
Where's your rest of it?
Oh, hi.
Hi. Haven't seen you for a long time either. How you
How
doing,
you
girl?
doing? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Hi. Shut the door.
Are the others coming?
Yeah, I have to go out and tell them
Oh.
that everybody's here.
How are you,
How
Mark?
you doing?
Pretty
Good
good.
to see you.
Howdy, Mark.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Bring your
So
family.
here's, if you make a dub of that,
Oh,
here's
go get 'em.
why you take.
This is pretty nice here.
Good, haven't we?
You bet.
Just
That's-
make it through,
she's the
make
one
it-
that did it.
Can you, do you have two
Good
machines?
location.
Yeah, with us, especially when
This will
we
give you
keep the
some
hospital
ground
high.
too.
You're not far from
Either her or I've been in the
You're
hospital now
Any of this
for
things,
6
I
You're
months.
not too far from Merrill.
I've got a
You
vision
doing
here.
okay, man?
Yeah.
A lot of stuff on it too.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff
What
on
they
it.
did,
There's stuff down Richfield.
they operated
A lot of
once,
stuff, but we do have
and I
some
said
stuff.
I didn't want
going
this
on
bag, you know, they're all bag.
Well, we're gonna have the last 3 Jensons together.
And
I
so,
need,
so then, in 3
Hey,
days,
hey,
while
hey.
you're doing fine, you can go and
the copy that I showed his mother on it. Never seen her
so
before.
they go,
And that's what he wanted to for the.
All played again.
No, it's not.
Hit me there.
Oh, that's right.
Hopefully we can,
I bet you're getting
Well, if
so
you
many
need more,
hospitals
too.
and hate doctors.
I always do.
Now, are they downstairs?
I think
He
you're
has to
gonna
go
buy
back.
a hospital.
I'm gonna put the.
Down the air?
Yeah. I'll go get it.
I'll sit over here and then they have
Oh, it is? Well,
Take that
then
pill
you have
away,
two,
Dad.
can you get it all in one?
Yeah.
Sure, for 2 hours worth.
Sit over by the
Take
end
it
and
over
then we
here.
can.
Did I ever give you a copy of that
Oh,
today?
yeah,
You were
right,
in that
right.
for every little kid. I showed it to you the once, I never gave you a
Yeah,
copy of it.
yeah, I never did see that.
I'll put it on there for you.
This is a nice couch,
I'd like to go,
comfortable.
Mark's got the original, I'd like to
Yeah.
take his movie again, this time
We
had
had
it
too
digitally
much stuff
reproduced.
in our home
Yeah,
down Richfield.
I guess a little clearer, wouldn't it?
Oh, a lot clearer.
These 2 chairs and then
They can
bed.
take that
and
regular
room
rate
we
and
bought
digitize it.
these.
and
clean it up, take the noise, the dirt, or
well,
the
all these chairs.
fuzziness out
Well,
of it.
actually,
Well, the
your,
last time,
your
it was
front room
copied
was a little
years
crowded in
ago.
Richfield anyway.
And it was just
Yeah, too
filmed
much
off of
furniture.
projection
Yeah.
film on it,
And they're good to get rid of.
so it's not that great.
Well, it surely fits
But,
well here.
Yeah, it fits good.
You know, he's got Grandpa Jenson.
Now, if you stay up here where you can put the grand piano,
And it's,
grand
We got no place
get
for
a
the
better
grand
copy of him
piano.
walking around.
Oh,
It's
he's
a little
right
short one.
there.
Really?
Well, that would
Gee,
take
that-
up half the room.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that, never.
it's big.
That's a cute little
I've got a box at home.
china cabinet.
Yeah, she,
Donna was gonna throw it out and I kept it.
yeah,
it's a
she
bunch
got a
of
good deal on that.
Cousins from Mitchell, I don't know any of them, you might.
Oh, really? You know what you could do, you could move this flower thing out of the way, put one more chair over, and then everybody could get around there, and then Brian can videotape and really get everybody in.
If you wanna hook your video camera up, I'd be glad to just set it here and run it.
all of it's been together, all four of it's been
You
together.
know, I guess I could do that.
Been a long time.
Maybe have both of you go
Is
in
Donna
once,
coming with?
Donna's
so you
out
get the
there,
best quality out of it.
so that'll be all
Well,
four
it
of
just
us
seems
together.
redundant to do.
Now anything can
That's
happen,
just one of
any
the
of us,
different
we
camera
all get
angles.
together one time.
Oh, and then cut them together?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know, it's hard after, you were Sandy and Mark was Kearns and I was down in Richfield, I wouldn't move, and I wouldn't move now.
Oh, good. Man,
Hi. You're getting that
Right
baby?
there.
Man,
And before you can sit down, you gotta go down that alleyway.
Going down this alleyway, huh? How are you?
Of course. Just to see her there, to see the house. How are you?
Hi. How are you?
Hi.
How are you
Oh,
doing?
boy, it's little,
Looking good.
How you doing?
not really good.
how you doing that, Donna?
Good. You look good.
Good to see ya.
How you doing?
Oh, yeah,
Good.
Pat and Sassy, hi. How you doing?
You work,
Sorry we didn't get here on time, but we
Hello,
had
Donna.
an emergency.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and then had to rush her.
These first 2
Hospital
doors,
to hospital.
oh, what for?
We had
and the furnace,
a
and next to the washing machine
in my locker house.
Yeah, me
and,
too.
dryer. And we have things we've never had before, we
So
gotta
we couldn't leave as soon as we.
you'd
It's
be
heaven
the
that
short
I told
little
her
dinner marks
$100.
a little taller than you.
The freeway was jammed, the freeway was jammed, but then to top everything off, there was
Well,
a
I
huge
just had
accident
some aching
on the
side.
freeway we were on.
I bet you
So
don't
we
even know
had
where that
set.
picture is.
So I thought maybe that's,
Right over here.
It was bad.
There was an accident.
Some place you've been.
Sheared
It's unique to get everyone here.
Did you go see?
Well, that's what.
What you get that picture?
hello,
This
how are you?
picture, you've been there too.
It looks a lot like they got Candy Mountain.
Exactly.
Well, I'll see, I have to go.
Yeah, I know you did. I was glad
Well,
to
that's
see you
third,
anyway.
that's a third trick
Yeah.
anyway.
Well, I'll try to get to the
You
reception.
had to
And what's this picture here?
think about it.
Fish
Oh,
leg.
yeah, yeah,
Well, like
yeah.
what it was.
That is one
I'll
of
see,
Chris
I have
Myers'
to go.
pictures in
Oh,
it.
no, yeah.
I'll see you, I have to go. I'll try to get to the
I
reception.
still got a
Okay, your
lot
wife
of
will be
his
there, huh?
paintings.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know that all this was happening tonight, and I'm recording a vocalist, and he's leaving for Russia in the morning, a vocalist for recording a record album. And so, and they're supposed to be there at 7, and it's about 20 minutes away, so I'm gonna
Oh,
be
you
late.
better go.
You're a busy
Okay, it's good
person.
to
Have you
see you.
learned to speak Russian any?
No,
Did you say spasiba?
Spasiba?
Spasiba means thank you.
No. Well, I have to learn Bulgarian, that's
I
what
need to
Sheriff.
learn something, because we're involved with Russians all the time.
His daughter's going to go
Where?
there.
That's Southwest Villa, that place that where we clean all the apartments there.
And the Russians up
And
there.
there's 2 Russian families, and they have 3 apartments, maybe 4 apartments altogether. And we, cleaned their apartments. And he doesn't know English, and so he's always jabbering Russian to me, and I try to understand him, and, he points at the vacuum or his car or whatever and starts talking about it. Try to follow him, but they're nice people, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, Sheriff's going to Bulgaria.
These children, the boys can
Oh,
sit there.
Bulgaria. That's a Russian,
That's a Russian language.
They use the acrylic alphabet too, so.
And then Chris is going to Brazil. He's leaving in 2 weeks.
oh my word. There's a young returned missionary there talking with the Russians. I didn't know at the time he was a returned missionary because he was jabbering in Russian to them, And he's from Murray. He's been home from his mission a year now. So it must be at least 3 years since they've opened it up.
Oh, yeah, we have one missionary leaving for Russia here in about 3 weeks. So, they've opened it up, all those Russian.
That's why I went to
nations.
Finland. They had 10 of us in Finland all set to go to the Soviet Union if it opened up while we were there. And eventually they did go from Finland into the Soviet
You
Union.
read the church section about what's happening to China. Elder Nelson
No.
and
Yeah, he's over there right now.
your last church section to tell all about that. He just got they treated him just like a diplomatic guest and took him to the best places, and they just loved him and the church and so forth in China now.
We kind of get the insight on that because Lowell Hardy is our first counselor in stake presidency.
Oh, is Lowell a first counselor?
Yeah, he lives nearby where I live, and so he'll tell us things.
Oh, boy, what a great insight. Yeah, he's a friend of mine. So.
Sometime I'll tell you President Hunter stories he's told us.
Yeah, I wish I could stay. I have to, but I'm just in real trouble if I don't go.
Yeah.
Thanks, see you.
Okay, bye-bye.
When I see what so many people have, then it makes me thankful that I'm as well off as I am.
So you gotta tell us where we're supposed to live here in Richfield.
I never know where
It's
you
quite
are.
I don't either.
I'd say live here.
Big Rock Candy Mountain, huh?
Well, it isn't exactly like it is. The road is oiled.
No, this is still Clear Creek,
That's Severe River.
Severe River, yeah.
Well, now, have you bought this outright, or you just have to make payments?
We paid for it.
It's all paid for.
Yeah. We were lucky. We bought a farm from Melbourne, and they put the I-70 through this farm, and we sold this farm and bought this.
Oh.
So the Melbourne has bought it for us.
I bought that Baker farm, I bought 10 acres up there.
No, it's 27 acres. But you bought 27 acres.
Is that what I bought?
Why I know that, when I sold it to Stan Leeds, that's what he's gonna pay for, is the 27 acres. And he came and said, there's not that many acres. He's like, you don't think you
I
got
thought there's only 10 acres.
there's 27 acres. And so I says to him,
All you pay for
27 acres, here's the abstract title for 27 acres.
I sold the whole thing for about $600-700, something like.
$300. That's the best mortgage I ever had it. And I was afraid he was gonna lose that 300. That's the reason I bought it. Cause you're just gonna walk away with the whole thing.
I had the left kidney
Didn't have
removed,
any money to keep it going.
so I just had the
So I
right.
paid Dorothy Baker the
Yes,
300,
something
she
had
paid
happened.
Dorothy
That's
Baker.
good.
Well, I have, it's been
So
since
we
'84.
broke even.
Yeah.
Then you had to pay a little more, didn't you?
No, but yeah, it was
Then, yeah, that I would have had to pay payment.
Well, that was a time when I didn't have 5 cents to do anything with it.
Did you dispose of your livestock?
What?
You got rid of your cattle?
Everything.
Did you?
When I was putting the horse
of trouble in my
And
family.
so
Last
I
night,
had extra hay and wanted to feed all this hay up to him. And Ivan Cully came along, I called him up and I said, will you get rid of some of my cattle?
I was coming, but when
And
he can learn to talk.
then when we had the double whammy,
He was
I told him to
was
pick
this,
up the
well,
whole
he wouldn't be
thing.
here yet, he's born last.
So I think King got them, huh?
I still got one,
Oh, you sit down there.
that I'm fattening to eat meat, you know.
So you're just photoing all this, huh?
I'm just a shadow.
You're just a shadow? Well, I think
Well,
you're
it's
more
funny how
than,
things
I think
turn
you're
out
more than a
one way or
shadow.
the other.
You look like a good shadow. Haven't seen you for a long time.
No?
Not like that.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
House of mine.
Things going okay?
Yeah.
Is this a
Something
yacht?
that doesn't matter, I take these
Can you
cameras.
see it over there?
Did you see,
Oh, okay.
did you see it or
Cement
you're?
was cracking and
Back in
Yeah,
my
yeah, I-
cracking.
I gotta put your chair over there so I can get
Did
you
I say
filmed.
that we wanted to take it?
I guess nobody else is standing, so.
Yeah.
The ceiling was leaking.
I haven't got that
Huh?
yet. Have you just watched what was on TV?
Oh, yeah, well, it was on
I paid
TV channel 5, the whole thing.
Oh,
I put another 15,000
No, we didn't
in,
do
so I
that.
had,
I
I
think
had
that-
15, 25, I had about $36,000 in that house over there.
Above this.
And,
That was Columbia Lane. Right
so
there.
Did you have a hard time finding it?
I remember when Odyssey got that
We
picture,
might have
and
had,
Chris
we had
Myers, that
had to
picture
funnel
fish
over
there.
$165,000.
You're over that
I think
over
I
to
even
us.
went
That
with
was
the-
good.
It was funny on that
So,
picture.
he came back and
Well,
they said, well, we won't give you more than
I'm gonna see if I can
150.
get me a vest.
I said, well, I'll take 150 if you
I
pay
can't
all
even hear today.
closing costs,
So far.
all real estate fees, everything
Yeah, for
else.
some reason.
So I've got $150,000 right in my hand.
Down the week.
What are
they-
those pills that is the same as,
But
what are those brown pills?
His name is Myers, is
I
that?
need to take something for my head because I can't hear today.
it was really,
See if it will clear out.
Bothering you up there, huh?
Ah,
That's too bad.
is that the ones?
it was just Janice and
Yeah, well, I'm gonna take that.
Tito. I
Did
never,
you look at it in the kitchen?
I was 60
My
years
ears
old
have
before I
clogged
ever
up.
followed that.
Are they?
Yeah.
I never sick and then, no,
Okay,
I,
well, I'm just
if
here.
you climb me,
Well,
I'll never
when all
sick.
these things happen to everybody, well,
Stuff is so.
well, it makes me thankful I'm as well off as I am.
I can remember which pill to take, so she bought me one of these, and she got through it all through this.
You mean you have to take all that?
Well, I take about 5 a day.
It looks like she wants to make you the pillar of the church.
Yeah,
Is that chemotherapy, what she called it?
oh, I,
Are you on that?
those big fat things I have
That's
to take.
potassium, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's what I have to take.
you take those potassium pills,
I couldn't swallow them, they'd be too big, I'd have to chew them.
I have to take a
Well, can you
diuretic
cut 'em in
and
two? I've got
a
a-
potassium
I've got a-
pills
Pills?
to keep my legs from swelling up.
yeah, that's what they take these, and,
Oh, that's what,
I've
how old are
seen,
your
I've
legs
seen,
anyway?
I've seen my, see they're swollen a little bit right now.
Uh-huh.
I've seen my legs, whole things as fat as my ankles right here all the way down.
Did they figure diabetes or something's causing that, or is it just
It'd
retaining
be
water?
Retain water, I have to take a potassium pill like that and a diuretic pill. And I go without taking those for a couple of days and my legs swell up again.
Well,
I have to take 3 of these a day.
Now,
Two.
potassium's found in bananas, isn't it?
Yeah, it's found in,
Yeah. It's better to take bananas.
Yeah,
and
that's
then it's in oranges too.
Uh-huh.
Is, see that stripe?
So I'm eating bananas and
That color that's.
And that helps you, huh?
Uh-huh.
Well, did they call it edema, like I said?
but what happens, you take a
No,
potassium
not the-
pill,
Well, the
I mean,
next
take
stripe
one of
over
those
that looks
diuretics,
like,
the
we're
potassium
talking
pill,
about color.
Oh, yeah?
and I
The
counted, the
next stripe
first day
over
that
there
I
looks
took
kinda
it,
like a peachy
I
orange
went to
or
the, I went to
peachy
the
brown.
bathroom
Yeah,
to
that's
get
the
rid of water
They're
18
using a lot.
times.
I was just telling her how beautiful yours is.
And
I
then
love,
Then the water goes out of you,
yes. I
and
had
your
my
legs
living
go down
in this
again.
color one
Maybe I
time,
should
and
go, I have to go really
I
often.
loved it, I absolutely loved it.
Where was that, so?
And then somebody taught me into doing my whole house
We-
in white.
We've been friends with a Norwegian lady,
Oh,
for 2 or 3 years, and
Going back to color, and they even
at first she
suggested
said
dark
she didn't
green,
remember,
black
didn't know who
ceilings.
Ostrich
Oh, I
was, until
understand
finally
that.
I like
said,
them.
well, she's a sister of Borghill Strumnus.
No, I
And
don't
she
do that.
said, oh yeah, I know them.
Bring her around.
Her name is Ray Nielsen. I don't know whether you would know her or not.
What about you?
Because she said you'd know her from her maiden name, and I have forgotten her maiden name. This is her married name, and she goes by Raymond Nielsen. And she lives at South Lake Villa, and she's been here for years and years. She's Donna's age. She's worked in the church office building a long time. She knew Borghill.
Yeah.
And she's just a really nice lady. I taped the movie for her called The Song of Norway
Yeah.
and gave it to her, and she just loved it.
No, did she?
Thanked me for it, you know. But twice a year we'll go in and clean her apartment for her.
Oh.
She has an apartment at South Lake Villa.
Uh-huh.
She's got
You're
it
gonna get older in
decorated
4
beautiful
days.
with Norwegian
get
things
older
and
in 4
Scandinavian
days.
things.
Yeah.
Oh,
I can't think.
I
of
get
it.
older every day.
What was the church name? You said
I don't even care about having birthdays anymore.
Raymond.
But I
Raymond.
can always look around and,
That's her
and I
first
think,
name.
That
you
would be
know,
the
like,
first
we all
name.
have aches and pains, and then I can always look around and see
And the
someone
one she's
we're
married
talking
to is
about.
Nielsen,
You know,
so
it's funny with me, I
everybody
don't
calls
have-
her Ray.
I don't have any aches and pains,
How long has she been here?
but I feel.
She's been in
a
America
little bad
for
He says she's in her 80s.
But he-
since the
he-
1940s.
he took this operation.
She's been here a long time. She's made several trips back
Well,
to Norway
are you still taking that
and
chemotherapy?
also Denmark. She had people
You
in
said you're
Denmark.
taking chemotherapy.
Yeah,
You still doing that?
yeah, but it don't affect
Well,
me
It
any.
don't
I
make you
can
sicker?
place
No,
her,
none
but
of it. And
she
it-
probably,
once a week.
like
every
you say,
Thursday.
she'd know Borghill
Some
because
people
she
said
worked
it
in
makes
the
them
office
really
up
sick.
there.
Yeah, I
Do
think-
they lose their hair?
She's the same age as
Yeah.
Donna, born in
I think they're a little
1912.
better, but a lot of people
She's
Yeah.
can't take anything.
quite a live wire.
But
She's
it don't affect
sociable
me.
with everybody and is always going places and doing things, you know, and going to the temple.
Yeah. No. I don't know if
I
she,
always
Does
had
she
a lot of
know me?
consolation. I always heard
At
that.
first she said she didn't
We haven't had
until I
any blood
mentioned
pressure.
Borghill.
Oh,
And she said, oh yeah, I know Borghill and
I don't
in
know them.
Austria.
It's funny how.
must be somebody.
Even the doctor, come once to this doctor, he tells me I have cancer, and he goes, oh, all this. And
Did you think you had any cancer when you went to
Oh
hospital?
gosh, what are you both doing?
No.
Well, did it hurt all over inside?
Harmon is kind of in a bad way too. He's, he
No,
took a
I
little
had some
heart
pains
attack.
inside.
And he took
He laughed, he says, what
And
is the matter
the
with
doctor
you?
thought it was the cold.
You're just like you're supposed to
what
be.
was that other old people get
I
when
said,
they,
well, I was supposed
Did
to
I
have
took
fat
x-rays
ass.
and the colon and everything
Yeah,
else.
heart
Everybody
attack.
wanted to do
A
this.
stroke.
What
Stroke,
is that?
yeah.
I said,
So
no.
they gave me
And
tests.
okay,
Elsie
I'm
had a
happy.
heart attack. Harmon.
And she,
She,
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, you
he and
think
I
this
went
art
more
is one
teaching
word.
for
Well,
over a
did they
year.
have to cut and take
And
tissue
he
away
couldn't
or?
say anything.
I don't know what he did.
It's hard to
That
laugh.
ripped me out.
When we go to go, he told, kisses us around the
He's nearly blind, yeah?
Well, he see, get
No, that's too bad.
He says you're never.
his mind is funny.
Oh,
Well,
And so Elsie,
Forget it. Arthritis.
he got so he couldn't even dress himself. Then he couldn't get out of the bathtub. I'd have to go once in a
No
while.
fair.
Go drag him out
Should
of
we
the
go
bathtub.
take it away from him?
And that itches.
I'm just a
What
shadow.
does it say in street rocks? Now, you don't
Well,
want-
now they think he's had a little hot.
Well, just so we get a picture or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
I'm mad at myself because
So
I
right
can't
now,
hear it.
Elsie got,
Oh,
then
sorry.
Yeah, just-
she just couldn't take care of him, she had to dress him and lift him, and so they put him in the old folks'
Ever
home.
since Melvin
Just about a
told me,
week ago.
Melvin told me to take
Yeah,
alfalfa.
and Elsie,
You gave it to
Elsie
me.
had to go to toilet.
And I
Well,
was in
Jimmy,
so
that's
much
what you
misery
don't
before
get.
I went to work, and we
It
had,
would be hard.
we had to clean at least 4 apartments
Well,
as big as this
I just
every
hope
day.
and pray I don't
And we've
have
been doing that all during the
So
month.
Harmon's not good at
You
all.
know, that's what we do
to
for
go
a
through
living.
any lingering
And,
sickness.
yeah, I mean, you
That's
wash
the only
walls,
thing
you
we
clean
got left is
carpets, you do
Harmon.
everything, the
I
windows,
got to
the
thinking,
blinds,
this is
everything.
how I want to die.
And,
I got a friend
I started
that lives up
taking
in
them
Logan, and
2
we-
days before I went.
She came from
What did you
Smithfield to
take?
go to
Was
LDN
alfalfa.
Business College, and
And
we
Melvin
went out of
and
high
Vivian
school, and I
told me
came from
about 'em.
Richfield, and we
And,
chummed together here in Salt
I
Lake.
just kinda, you know, I
And,
kinda chuckled under my breath. I thought, oh, sure, that's gonna help me, you know.
We see each other once in a while, but she would,
Because
know,
I was
we'd ride
skeptic,
and went
because
in
I
and out, and
thought
she
I'd always
real
been
active in
allergic
doing
to
genealogy and
alfalfa
family history and that.
fields as
And
we
here,
passed them, you know.
that on
I'd always have to take
on
acre pills for it.
Christmas Eve,
And so
I thought I was
don't know
getting
if
a
I dare
letter
to
from
put
her.
that in my
And I
body
opened the
or
letter,
not.
and it was from her
But I took
children.
one a day,
She
so I
had
took,
laid
and I
down
think they told
on her
me I
sofa
could take
to
at
take a
least
nap
4.
and didn't wake up.
But I
That's
took
the
one
way
a
I
day,
wanted
because
to
I
go.
thought, well, I better see how it's gonna react.
It's quite interesting.
And it kept me going, and my knees did not hurt until the day I stopped working. And then they hurt, and I'm still taking it, but I thought, is it psychological? But I sure been passing the word around to all my little customers that are so laid up with arthritis that they can't stand it, and they're all on alfalfa pills now.
I have been.
How are they doing?
They're
Taking
doing
those.
great.
No, Harmon's
You
boy
haven't taken them, you
Max.
quit after you told me to take
I
them.
run out of them.
Genealogist.
Oh,
He's got
I
one
didn't know it.
family and
My
everybody.
bottle was empty, and I threw it in the
You never
garbage.
saw a cow with arthritis?
no, that's true. And this one man,
You remember
he's
Max?
just really bad with arthritis.
Oh, yeah.
He told me, he says,
Is this,
I used to work
is
on a
this Max
farm.
is working on
And
it
when I
or
was
Jimmy?
working, I would chew on alfalfa.
All these are.
And he
Max,
says,
is that Harmon's
then I
son?
made a city life, and he says, then I got this stupid rheumatism.
Really good job.
He said, little did I know that that was probably keeping me from getting
He
rheumatism.
came to Temple the other day and
So he went right out and he bought a bottle, but the only thing was, it was 500 milligrams, and I don't know if he can
Starting from you.
take 500 milligrams. How many can you take of the things?
I don't remember.
I think if you
Theirs
had,
were only
They
10
done-
grams. I
remember
don't know how
seeing
you
the
figure
record
grams
one
from
time,
milligrams.
and
It
there was
doesn't
some
say.
grandma
is where.
Wasn't 100 years old and the work hadn't been done. Has it been done?
well, if you had too much alfalfa though, you'd have to have 3 stomachs to digest it.
And this is.
Gennaro.
Strange.
Gennaro.
I don't know anything about that.
Those pills is called Gennaro, and I'm taking them.
That sounds like
They're
fun.
vitamins. And a month's supply costs about $25, and I decided to try it.
He wrote to you.
Maybe they're helping me,
Oh,
maybe not. I've taken it for about a week and a half now. And there's so many of them said, oh,
Oh,
this
you said
happened to
mine
them,
when I
that
got
happened to
Uncle,
them.
Uncle Will
They had
said,
Yeah.
he's supposed to be
3 or 4
coming here.
pages of
Yeah, and
affidavits.
he's
People
working on the other side, so
Just-
we're lucky.
had
We
more
have
of
the
us help
things about our
afterwards.
kindred dead. and
Testimonies of
And then-
people.
So I
then-
decided to take their,
Well,
their
speaking of that,
pills too.
I guess,
Oh.
on Marlene's
That could be
line,
much
there's a
worse
man
than
named
alfalfa. Oh,
Gary's-
that's the biggest pill that I
Merle's
get in my
mother
throat.
was-
What we
Oh,
won't do for him.
and his name's Gary Stay, and he,
But I
and
$1
he,
million
doing all
here,
kinds of
$1 million
research on
there,
state.
believe it.
all
And
the
she
money
brought
in the
last
world, travel
on
all
Friday, a
world
book that
over
he
now,
had,
everything else.
you know, got all the history,
Yeah.
could find the genealogy and everything on this state line.
He said, well, go ahead.
Gave
and try
Marlene
it.
a copy to give to
She
me.
gave it, you know.
That's the
Gave one
best
to her and
gift you
didn't
can
have
have in
her
this
son.
life, is help
Oh, speaking of the Warburgs, yesterday,
Well,
we
you know, every
the
time, everybody
nephew
was giving me
Merle.
something.
No, you can be sensible, you're healthy.
So he's busy working on that line.
Yeah,
I did not have
That's
no
it.
interest in my knees.
it's
And you
interesting,
know all that.
like,
You saw me.
Mark's family,
And I had that
in
in
your
my shoulder.
family, he's
my
just,
spinal
Mike has
column,
sure
so
done
I
a good
could
job.
stand it.
Has he got us in here?
Now I got you and
That was about after 4
Melvin,
days.
got
The
everyone.
whole
All of
world.
that went.
We're over here.
And I
Just
get
here
it.
too.
That's the way that
It was a
Gary
nervous
Stay,
itch,
he's got our names on it
you
too.
know, That,
If it wasn't for our kindred dead and our wives, we
but I
never
wasn't
got
quite
saved.
sure how.
But I went over the
how
state
to figure
computer,
it, 'cause she bought this.
I got everything, of course, it was just
Now, here's a mistake right here.
more than I had.
See, that's what the grams.
He's got me endowed, 14th of July, 1922, it's 1932.
There's a kilograms between the store.
Huh?
Well, that's taken from your mother's paper.
Well, because, gosh, I wouldn't even been old enough. At 22, I'd only been
Maybe about
10 years old.
But then when you,
He came to us and Austria had a lot of those records.
Well, it was the same day that I was married, see, 14th of July of 32.
You know that?
What's that?
I got a pencil here.
how many milligrams in a gram?
but I've got everything, you know, right
about
up to the
1,000?
loose ends, you know, on
Is
each
that what the
each
bill
one.
stands for?
In order to get
Yeah,
more
cents is 100,
Swedish,
mils
you
1,000.
have
Here's the pen, now fix it.
to- You have to go in the basement in the family
Milligram.
center up there,
1,000
and
milligrams
they have seen,
in
you
1
have
gram.
to.
See,
And a gram's
read
2.2
Swedish
pounds.
and-
Is what?
and-
2.2,
Yeah, I don't
no, that's
even-
kilogram. Kilogram's
You go any
2.2 pounds.
farther.
Yeah.
Matter this pen, I can't open it.
So if it's
If you can get a
500,
word in Edgeway here,
milligrams,
you're lucky.
it wouldn't be as potent.
It wouldn't be as potent as the other.
The only thing I know
Because
is,
after she
The
said
only
she
thing
went
I
out
know
and
is
got them, I
look.
thought, ooh, what if she's gonna take
Oh.
too many of them? I better find
I
out.
don't know
the
what
only
that
thing I
is.
know in Swedish is jag är
So
tio
she
år
would be
gammal.
safe then.
Yeah, T.O. Gamma.
You could look
Uh-huh.
up in the dictionary about.
He speaks Swedish, mark that.
I mean, when I was
Is that why they
9
call
years
them graham
old, that
crackers? They
very
weigh a
baby
gram? A
remembered
gram?
that.
A gram.
Jag är tio år
Grandma.
gammal. I don't know if you know that.
No, the fellow that invented his name is Graham.
That's right, the way you say it.
Yeah.
Go borrow a
Tio
lamp a
år
second.
gammal.
That's
Yeah, I
Norwegian.
did
Is
too.
that Norwegian?
We don't wanna make it hard on you. We didn't
It's
come to
not
make it
the
hard, we
Norska.
just come to make you happy for
Still
what,
talking a little, huh?
I understand.
Jag kan tala svenska
what time is it?
fortfarande.
Quarter after 7.
She still has that Swedish flag you put up once in a while.
Yeah, I still have it. Do you want that back?
No, of course not.
You have it.
You know, on
We
the,
went to a Swedish missionary reunion, and I got to see a lot of missionaries that I hadn't seen since I was on a mission, you know. And that was really neat. And then we ran on to, we were
Meryl?
at Sugar House Park
Yeah.
with Lori's little girl, Shanley, and we ran on to Ingrid Livgren there.
I don't think you can put that.
And where
down
Lori
for
started
that.
talking to him, while I had
just
to
wanted
attend
extra light.
Shanley, you know, and go to the playground with her and all that. And he told her his story, his war experience, you know. He was there when the Germans
We'll see
invaded
another
Norway,
time.
and he had a lot of hair-raising experiences with his family, getting from Norway over back into Sweden when all the German soldiers were there. And so,
Are you taking pictures in between?
I have it nonstop.
yeah,
Did you see my article in the Reader's Forum in the Desert News? You don't take Desert News, do you?
I didn't,
I get-
where was it? I just,
Donna gives us all her Deseret Newses after she gets them read.
did you read the,
No, they wrote
was
in
it the church?
they wrote in the Reader's Forum, you know, about the Enola Gay bombing Hiroshima and then Nagasaki and so forth, and how they shouldn't have done that and they shouldn't have done it and so forth.
Not a couple of writers.
And wrote a couple of writers, and then one was for it. So I dove in there and wrote my version of it.
Well, you was
Oh, you mean in what
I-
readers think?
I'm
Huh?
down in Memphis now,
This is over here.
in the
Did you get,
Philippines.
she might be back.
And
Okay.
the first one, that's
Well,
right up there in the hurry.
I was gonna get you away from that light, because I'll overexpose on that light there.
Jeeps, and our Jeeps are bound with wire and everything else, none of them worked. So they brought us.
Maybe I'll
two
put the light
Jeeps,
right, well,
Three shiploads of new Jeeps in Cosmoline. And MacArthur wanted us right up there to Japan to hurry, so he said, dump the Jeeps. So we built a platform up to the top, up to the end of each one of the ships, and they brought the Jeeps up to the hold, and we pushed them in the ocean. And then they had barrels and barrels and barrels of stuff to clean the Cosmoline off. And we gave that to the Filipinos, and away we went. Then we brought the hammocks down and headed to Japan, and we had a typhoon on the way up there, and the ships go straight up and down and bang up. I never did get sick on a ship, and I'm the one that always had to keep cleaning up the pew. And I had to act like I was sick sometimes to get out of it. But anyway, I went right up to top of the ship and watched that ship while it was in that typhoon and see what it looked like. They had lights all over it, and all you could see is just water above, water everywhere. And the ship was just showing up like this and then banging down. I was hanging onto a pole like this. In fact, when I went up there, I felt there at the top of the ship. The ship pitched, and I just went hand over hand up the railing, upstairs, to make it to the top. When I got back down there, what's going on up there? I said, you thought you were in an APA. I said, you're in a submarine. Anyway, we got to Japan. Then it settled out, and on the way to Japan, they handed us the invasion maps. We were to invade there on, see, this is in August. The next March the 3rd, we were supposed to invade Japan in Shikoku Bay. Well, they sent us the occupation where our outfit was supposed to invade. So we went to Shikoku Bay, and they said along the side of the beach on the hillside, there's a big hill above there. They said all it was is small arms fire, and they'd just blow them away and nobody would get hurt. So we went into Shikoku Bay, and the first job I had, along with a lot of other fellows, was getting rid of the ammunition in that mountain right beside the beach that had 5 floors to it, and they had asphalt trails up to it from the other side where they drove semi trucks there to unload the ammunition and missiles and big shells for the guns up above. Well, if we ever invaded that and then told us all there was just rifle fire down below, we'd been, our landing boats had been blown clear out of the water, and that's where my grave had been.
Yeah.
Right there. And so I said, thank you, Enola Gay, an atomic bomb, for stopping the war. I said, you saved my grave. For about March the 15th, I've been dead in Shikoku Bay. And I said, I could have gone home and had a family of 6 children.
Yeah.
And 25 grandchildren.
You're gonna get too tall standing up all the time. Don't you ever sit down?
Well, then I get too wide.
I'll brought a chair for you.
He's already too tall.
He's in the mortgage business like Neil is.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you're telling me. That surprised me, Neil. I was worried about him. I didn't think he'd be able to. He had a fine home, a new baby, and had
I
everything.
get it straight, you're Brian.
Got a master's degree in business.
Place mixed up, I shouldn't say that.
Surprised me. Now, you're not supposed to take pictures.
I didn't even bring my camera.
That's what Merrill did. We went to Norway, did 8,000 miles, and he carried one of those things all over, took pictures. And there's, I said, you're supposed to throw some of the pictures away. This boat stopped, and this captain, he had to take a leak. And so he, right in front of Merrill, he didn't pay any attention. Then he just stands right out. He shows more than he needs to show. And then Merrill's got it on his tape. And
Then do you erase it?
no, he kept it on there.
Yeah, I would erase something like that.
Every time.
Just like one time there's some little mice came out in her den, you know, and they were playing around. I thought that was so neat. I got the video camera out and took a picture of it, looked like little Mickey Mouse, you know, and it's playing. I showed that to the family. They just closed their eyes. Nobody wanted to even see it. So that's the first thing I did was tape over it and erase it.
But Merrill won't.
Well, you heard about Floyd. When I took Shauna down there to Floyd's in California, he was telling Shauna about how they found Mickey and Minnie Mouse. He said, I came from Richfield, and I did a lot of artwork with the theater in Richfield. Sanders on the second floor. It's a big long building there. And he said, there's mice running all over the floor, everywhere, and they didn't know what to, make a movie out of. So I said, he said, I went and caught one of those mice and looked at it, and Walt looked at it and so forth. Well, we don't have a subject. Let's make a subject about mice. Then after a while, they got out about 4 or 5 of them there that working for him that time. It said Minnie, and finally they got Minnie and Mickey Mouse, and they said, we made a cartoon. Full-length cartoon of Mickey and Minnie Mouse. And he said, Walt Disney just about lost everything. He says there's a lady that got so scared of that thing, she fell over her seat and bloodied her nose and her head and everything else, and they had to carry her out because she's frightened. And he turned to Sean and he said, now, why do you think she was so frightened? And he drew a Mickey Mouse. He drew a Mickey and Minnie Mouse right in front of Sean. He just draw it in 2 seconds. But he drew it with all the fingers and the toes on there.
4 fingers of them.
Yeah, well, those.
You never had 5 fingers.
Well, the fingers and the toes on the thing. And he says that's just the way we made the cartoon. And he says that lady was so frightened. So he turned to Sean and he said, what should we do? We kept Minnie and Mickey Mouse. What should we do? And then he took the picture he had there. Then he started to draw shoes and gloves on the thing. Yes, that's what you should have. The gloves and shoes on there. Then they won't see those ugly little fingers. That's right, Florence. He said, that's why Walt Disney got sued, and I just about lost my job before I got started.
Can you remember when Floyd lived at our place? He shot his arm and he'd take his left hand and draw for the stores there in Richfield.
Well, that's when it got, that's what kind of got him started.
Yeah, he got started in
Couldn't work too
Richfield.
good, because I remember seeing him at his own shop.
He had an accident with the 22 rifle, didn't he? Got an arm.
Yeah, he got shot his
Oh,
arm.
boy, this is changing the subject. You know how I forget names. It's Robert Douglas.
His name was
Bobby.
Bobby.
Just off my don't know Larry.
He's writing to me all the time. He wrote to you too,
The
didn't
one
he?
that,
Yeah,
and he wrote to me too.
yeah.
He's supposed to be coming in the spring or something.
Let's see, I gotta check on my wife.
Honey, I think we can.
You think maybe we ought to go?
No,
Yeah, I
no,
think
no,
so.
no.
Yeah, I think we get.
Well, how long has
Well,
it
this
been
is
since all 4 of us have been together at the same time in the same house?
Long time.
When was the last time? Were we all together at
We
Mother's
were all
funeral?
together when we went down for Memorial Day that time, remember?
Oh, yes, at Boyd's.
Golden,
Together at Boyd's.
well, from Golden Buchanan's funeral, wasn't it? I think,
We were in Boyd's yard.
That was 4 or 5 years ago.
It's been quite a while.
We got 2 of them.
Well, now, I heard Sterling got put in as president of his department.
Yes.
What's the department? What's
It's
the
another department, it's a
There's 2
company.
departments in First Security.
He's president of the company.
There's the banking department,
Uh-huh.
and there's an investment department,
Oh.
where they take people's money.
He's,
I like any, interstate hospital, it's chain.
his pay raise is more than most people make in a year.
And so Sterling got them to come in the company, and they take their assets and so forth. And
I'm
turn
doing
them
2
over to-
things. I'm doing mortgages.
over to First Security.
No, I'm
Bank
with Fleet
Investment
Mortgage.
Department.
Oh,
I also
They keep track
write
of it,
reports for
and-
banks.
And if they don't make at least 50%.
Yeah, they call me up and
or
for the
20%,
trust departments. I analyze limited
whether it's in
partnerships
there,
for
well,
them.
then they'll pull their money out.
That's my own little
and give it
business.
to somebody else.
Well, that's good.
I call it fiduciary
So
business
Sterling's job-
investigations, or
They keep-
FBI for short.
All these people now,
That's good.
there's enough companies
FBI,
that's
but
invested with First Security
FBI,
that I think
Is it
they
an
got about
FBI?
$6 billion.
fiduciary
in
business
there.
investigations.
Oh, okay.
That's neat.
And,
That's good.
That works out real
so
fine.
that money
I've
has
got,
to be making money through
I just had
stocks
First
and
Security
bonds.
Bank in New Mexico contact me earlier in the week, and they've
before
got some
Sterling
work they're
got
shipping
this
up to me
job,
to
he
do
was
for
over
them.
That's good.
over
I got
the,
First Interstate Bank in Los
mutual
Angeles, got a
funds, too.
bunch of stuff they want me to do for
You know,
them.
all the mutual
Great.
funds.
I wonder what you're doing.
And
Your
so this
family all
fellow that
well?
had the job moved to California
Are
for
they
some
good?
reason.
Had to stop and think.
And Sterling didn't like it
Oh.
anyway. He didn't
I had a
like
daughter at
it.
BYU and a daughter at University of Utah.
So Eccles
Yeah,
come and
I
asked Sterling
expected that
to,
date. He had me getting
and made him
my diamonds
president
when I was 10 years old.
of the First Security.
Huh?
Yeah,
University
In-
of
in
Utah.
business.
there's
We
lots
went
of
up,
states.
His daughter Stacy,
Everybody has
Stacy,
them.
and she's in there.
So that would be impossible.
Yeah, she
And mind you, when they first,
She
when
got
he
it
first
into her
started
offer.
with
She's
with,
such a
I
cute
never
girl.
checked it
First
myself.
Security.
Yeah,
I'm
I
glad
liked
you
her. She's
changed
just
it.
Of course, she has some friend, Melissa Dale or something like that.
Yeah, Melissa's our granddaughter.
So it was the same time I got
They,
Anyway, we went up.
And Eccles came and wanted Sterling to come back to Salt Lake and work for him. He says, "You don't give me any resume or anything." He says, "I'll give you $20,000 more than you're making the First Interstate Bank." So that raised him from 80,000 to 100,000 a year.
April.
Now, did this give him a raise to be made?
Oldest
So then when
granddaughter.
he became president of the company,
And
he
I
raised him
haven't
another
seen him. He raised
25,000,
him.
so he's making
Oh,
it had a sting of it.
And then he told
State building
Sterling
gets
if he
employment.
makes,
There's two little girls. Yeah,
if
hers
he
was
does a good
Kayla,
job with the
and the
company,
other was Kelsey.
and the company
And
makes,
it was
his
really nice the
company
way
makes
she
money,
had a program
Sterling,
ahead of time,
Eccles said,
Marlene
"Don't
and
be
David
surprised
could
at what you,
talk on
at the end of
baptism,
the
and the
year,
other
that
grandma could talk
you
on
don't get
the
another
Holy
$60,000 or
Ghost.
$70,000 bonus."
And then we had a couple of songs and divided up with
Sterling
the
has,
grandparents, and went down to another room to see him baptized,
he
and I've never
has
seen
5
that.
employees in Boise,
Like
and has
a mirror
5
reflection.
employees
It's
in
on the
Las
seats.
Vegas,
And seeing him
5
baptized, seeing that.
employees in
They have to do that
Albuquerque.
here.
And, you know, instead of having to
And so
go up
Sterling
by
has
it,
to
it's much nicer than
take care of those other
used to do,
15
you know, you go
employees in those other
pure
places
water to
besides
confirm. So both of their
about 20
fathers
employees in Salt Lake
baptized
City.
and
Did he have to spend quite a lot of time away from home then?
And
Yeah, he has to,
Huh?
he has to fly down
Yeah, we
there.
went to another, had this room with this
When he
program.
went down to Las Vegas, he went over to
Mark,
the First
a
Interstate.
real nice program,
I
Marlene
mean,
David had
First
come back
American
from
state where he
the
worked
Holy
before.
Ghost, and had a couple of songs and singing.
His
Then we went down to this other
guys
room, and the
did
two
it
little
down there
girls were
before.
baptized, and then we come back to the original room.
And he's
and
very
they were
confident he can take care
Each
of
was
it.
baptized by
In
their own
order.
father, and confirmed by
So
their
he
own
could-
father, and then each family, the Saul family, and
Then
then
there's
Yeah.
a lot of pressure, I think,
Yeah.
or
a bunch of
pretty
people.
well
Yeah.
taken
Then
in
we
stride.
went to Sherry's.
No, he's
so
one
little.
to give those others pressure.
There was,
They gotta,
Marlene David
see,
and
all
I.
those other employees
She
are
had
making
Christie's,
50,
children,
60,000,
Stephen's
70,000 a year, they got a good job.
12
Sterling's their boss,
grandchildren, there
making
would be,
125,000 a year.
9 of them, and Bruce's family, 2
I'm
of
trying to
them.
think, I can't remember.
Oh, he's probably investing his money then, isn't he?
Yeah, Sterling invested his money. He had that new car, that new
came off from
Chevrolet,
Korea.
Chevrolet van.
I think Melvin.
Go sit
He had
down.
2
No, I think we're
bodies
tired,
that
dear,
he's
we better
getting
go.
rid of.
We're gonna go with you.
You're gonna go with us?
Sure.
Are
Can't
you?
leave me out.
Have them all go the same time.
Oh, well, okay.
I can take my car, and you can take yours, and we wanna rate them all together.
All
One big
together,
group.
oh, you wanna go in as a big group and let them have a shot?
Yeah, sure.
Shot,
Representative.
surprise, okay.
Maybe I'll get my shoes on and go with you right now.
Anyway, I was telling him about when my oldest little great granddaughter was baptized on the 8th, and it was really special the way they do it now.
But they hold them under longer or shorter?
What?
Do they hold them under longer or shorter?
Oh,
Oh,
do
it's
they
just,
hold them up
just
there
a little
longer or
private,
shorter?
private meeting.
Oh, in baptizing?
Yeah.
Well, what was the difference? You go down the baptism room, and I don't know how it is, it's reflected some way in the mirror. You can sit
Yeah.
on the seats, and they're down below, but seeing being baptized. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
All of our
And it's the first I'd
grandkids
seen that.
On Easter, Merrill, one daughter came off a mission, gave a talk. You were to it, weren't you?
You bet.
And had one boy converted to a teacher.
Yeah,
ordained a
that's
teacher.
neat.
You went, I think Melvin told me about it going to it. Did you go to it too?
You remember when Franklin Roosevelt died?
I don't know what,
I was on a ship on the way to the South Pacific.
yeah?
We're in the South Pacific there, and Franklin Roosevelt died. And they put the flags at half-mast for Franklin
Leave
Roosevelt.
things like
Is
they
this
were,
one over
I'll
there,
I'll fix
Well,
them
we'll
around.
put that table back over here.
Then a week later, they're taking the
Looks like
flag down
temple chairs, don't they?
for
Ostrich made this
Franklin
deal.
Roosevelt.
Oh, it's
They
gorgeous.
said the commander of all
Said it took her 2 years.
the ships in the South
Where does that one
Pacific.
go?
Carry this.
Oh, it's neat.
Honey.
Neither
Another
one's
week.
happy.
Or
Would you like
down
to
for
carry that, put
another
it
week,
over
the
there
Great
between the
American
two
died.
chairs, that's where it
President Heber
was.
J. Grant of the
Maryland.
Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. So all the flags in the Pacific.
Oh, listen, leave things like they are. Yeah, I gotta get my teeth.
Well, Franklin D., you weren't there then.
I was on the ship when Franklin D. Roosevelt died,
1945.
and
Oh, I was
Have you
thinking,
got everything written down in
Where
your
does he
journal?
put this?
there's 7,000 men, 8,000 men on that ship.
This
As
goes-
soon
Had
as
to
you
go
get- are you
down
about
and
through
slip the
then?
flag while they
Okay,
lowered it to
okay.
I was thinking
half-mast.
of Kennedy.
Yeah, you might trip on that card.
And so they lowered it to half-mast for Franklin D. Roosevelt. A week later, they're
Hard to
gonna bring the
probably
flag back up again.
Yeah, just toss me the white cord and I'll put the lamp
Instead
back
of
into the
that, they
room.
left it down another week for President Heber J. Grant.
Here it is.
Yeah, I
Church of
remember,
Jesus Christ of
I was
Latter-day
working at
Saints.
Fort Douglas when both of them died. I remember that.
And so when they had the flag at half-mast
Listen,
for
why don't you leave this stuff here?
Heber J. Grant.
And we'll go out
everybody
to the
said,
shower, and we'll come back here.
Okay,
I went
I'll
out
be
and
there.
saluted all the guys in front of me, and I said, anybody
we're
wants
gonna
to
move this
know
cord
this?
because I don't want to trip anybody with
Meet
it.
me in the
Yeah.
library at 2 o'clock.
That would be a
Just-
really embarrassing
just
movie.
leave things as they are.
Where was this lamp?
In that room there on the table?
We'll all go out together, and then,
Behind the
then we
couch.
can come back here.
Then what?
We can come back here for a minute. Oh, it's been raining again.
Well, let's not get her too tired out. I think we
So,
have been here enough,
she's
Sheriff.
laying down now, she's not taking any hurt.
Is she gonna, he's not going now.
Yeah, no.
No.
Oscar was in bad shape, she had took all kinds of little didn't
I
they?
know.
They tied her up and cats and dogs, she could see.